Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to our very first episode on Port Murray. So we're going to do things a little bit differently this time. On the previous series, we kind of just jumped right into logging with the heavy equipment and having everything, but this one we're going to actually officially start as logging from scratch, from nothing, from zilch. So right now, you guys can't see my money, but I'm gonna quote it out as we go through this series. So right now, we only have $553 in our bank. That's it. Pocket change, nothing. Zilch. We have this brand new truck, which is owned by us. It's not a lease. So that was kind of one of the contingencies. Is I did need a vehicle to get around on the map. So that's going to be part of it. The only other thing that we have is the FDR Logging high stacker, which is this guy right here. Now, the rules of the road that I'm going to play on this one is this machine belongs to the mill. It does not belong to me. So I cannot use it for anything outside of the mill. If I want to use it to unload trucks in the mill, I can totally do that. If I want to use it to help unload trailers or whatever we end up doing here, I can do that. That's fine. But this thing cannot go outside of the mill and be used for cheating, as I'm going to call it. This is strictly for the mill. We also have the FDR Logging sawmill thing set up here as well. So all of this is here and acting as a mill area. So that can stay there and be fine. The other rule of the road for doing this series is I am not allowed to lease anything. There will be no leasing happening. Only going to be able to do purchases, full purchases of equipment. There's not going to be any leasing or anything like that. No rents. So without further ado, I guess we're going to have to get started. So we're going to have to start off old school style. Go for a little drive and start cutting some wood. So I kind of want to go to this little park area that we got across the bridge here. Should be interesting. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting series to how we're going to be able to make money, because equipment is very expensive, and if we want something, we have to buy it, and that's the only way we're going to let her go. So it's going to be a slow go for the first bit, but we'll get there. So to start things off, we also have the FDR Logging chainsaw. Obviously, we need a chainsaw. So we got this guy as well to start things up. And we got this truck right here. Actually, this would make a pretty good little picture right here. Look at that. Beauty. We're going to start things off. I guess we own the map, so everything on here we are allowed to log. I'm going to try to keep it to logging-related areas, but we do want to be able to log everything and anything we can get our hands on. So we don't have to worry about owning areas or specific spots or anything silly like that. This is just going to be a free-range, party-on logging map. So, I guess we better start making some money here. So we're going to start off old-school style and knock down some trees. And hopefully once we get enough money, we'll be able to buy ourselves a trailer, potentially, so we can start doing some real fun stuff. So we'll just kind of do the old hack and slash here. This is the old school way to do it. We're just like firewood cutting. So cut up a bunch of this stuff. Now, I'm not sure what sizes I can carry of this wood, so we're going to kind of do some interesting. So I can do that. That's all right. And we're just going to do some random bucking here. Nothing too precise. Maybe we'll cut that one back a little. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to go here. I have to get 2 out of this one. We'll see. Yeah, I better do another. Let's do a cut in the middle here. Okay, so now we bucked up that tree. Let's back this guy up a little bit. Now, you do have the option to lower your tailgate in this thing. Darn short boxes. We could probably fit more wood in here. Actually, I should have went with the other truck because it does have a longer box on it, but I think we're going to get creative with this one. It does have locking straps on it, so that's a big help right there. So let's... there we go. So how are we going to stack this? Sideways or frontways? I think we'll go this way. Oh, man. Not going to be able to get many trees in the back of this truck. And this wood, I think we're going to have a good time unloading that. Yeah, the other thing will be we cannot use the sell points. I don't want to use the sell points. I want all the wood manually unloaded in some form or another. So no sell points. On future maps, there will be no sell points, so it's going to be pretty cool. So we're just going to stack this wood up like a crazy person here. Beauty. Is there any short pieces I can stuff in the bottom? Oh yeah, right here. That'll do. It's kind of short. Collisions on this truck are not exact here, but that's okay. We can make it work. We have the technology. So I guess this is a perfect time to do... actually, I should do topic of the day here. Just give me a second. Let me see here. Oh, God. Okay, so since we're having fun with topic of the day, I might as well keep it going. The topic of the day is Android versus Apple. So Android versus Apple. Now, me, I am a 100% Android guy. I understand the purpose of wanting an Apple phone because they are a little bit more user-friendly, I guess you could say. But I definitely like the ability to configure on the Androids a little bit better than the Apples. And it seems like they support a lot more third-party applications than Apple does. Maybe that'll change in the future, but I know Apple's trying to protect their user-friendly brand, so not likely that's going to change anytime soon. Yeah, Apple versus Android. I remember back when I used to have an iPhone. God, who even knows what it was then? Probably an iPhone 4, maybe 3. And I actually really liked that phone. There's nothing wrong with it. It worked really good. But what happened was they updated the platform to this advanced version of the platform, and it was really, really slow on my older-ish phone. So what I wanted to do was, I'm like, oh, well, the new update sucks. I'm like, I want to go back to the old one because the old one worked better. Well, unfortunately, you do not have the option of going back. Or at least at that time, you definitely didn't. And I wish we can park a little closer here. And that really ticked me off because I was like, well, man, now my phone is literally useless. I can't even switch between applications without it taking like 45 seconds or more. So I wanted to, upgrade and change it, but I couldn't, and that sucked. So as soon as that happened, that's kind of when I threw in the towel for Apple, because at least Android, if you don't like your update, and I've had it happen a couple times where there was glitches or the update sucked, so I ended up kind of going back to the old way again, and it was actually way better. But on Apple, I couldn't do that. So that was my big I don't like Apple kind of dealio there. That was very unfortunate. Let's see how much these are worth a piece. So let's see. Round one. $46. And then $63. $19. What's this? $62. So this is good. At least we have a little bit of income coming in. We'll be at $1,000 before we know it. We started at $553. Probably after this load, we'll be at like $1,200 or something. That sounds pretty good. Whoops, geez, I keep throwing them. Should probably smooth out my mouse a little bit. I imagine you guys are going to get motion sick watching me unload this stuff, so... I wonder if I probably could increase the mouse sensitivity a bit to get rid of that effect. Or just learn to, like, move my mouse slower like this, which is probably better for your guys' eyeballs. There we go. Okay, so that's good. We got all this going. It looks like a little assembly line. It's kind of cool, huh? So let's see. I just want to see how much this one load of wood really brought us up to. I got my calculator out because I'm terrible at math, so we're going to do this properly. It's got a few more pieces to go. Slow but sure. I love using this mill. It's just so nice to see a process that's not just an instant disappear. Like they kind of, get grinded up and they get sold. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. So what are we at now? So right now we are at $1,210. So $1,210 minus $553, which is $657. So we made $657 off that 2 trees that we just cut down. So I mean that's pretty good. And I've got on the hardest difficulty, so this is really good that we're making some decent money off these trees. So we're just going to kind of keep going back and forth here, and we're going to load up all the trees. Now, based on that last grab there, I think I could probably put more trees on it, because I kind of cheaped out and didn't put as much on there as I think I could have. So let's get this one. I'm going to stick to kind of the smaller trees. We'll save the big trees for, like the really big trees. We'll save those for the bigger machines. It's a lot of it's a little bit easier work when you're cutting down these smaller trees and chopping them up, just because you can usually cut them a little faster. The big trees take a long time. There we go. And we'll do a little delimbing here. And then I'm just trying to decide what's the first thing we should do. I mean, in the past, I've bought in those lockable trailers. There's a couple different options for those that hook to the back of the truck. So, I mean, I could do that again if I really wanted to. Or we'll take a look and maybe there's something better we can play with. We got to be careful with our money, though, because every decision in this series is going to count, because all that money is... That's our gravy money right there. We don't want to waste it. I'm going to chop these like a little bit smaller. If I can do the measuring thing. 1, 2, 3. That's not going to be very accurate doing that. Okay. What you used to be able to do was I could pick up one of these pieces and then just kind of shimmy them all together. This will make it easier for loading. And then maybe eventually, what I might do is find a little... Maybe we'll find a little truck with a tiny crane on it or something. Not a great crane, but maybe a little tiny crane, just to kind of have some fun. Might have to make something like that. We will see. For now, oops, let's grab all of these. I'm just gonna kind of stack them up in piles here. Actually, let's shut this truck off, so we're not wasting fuel. We probably won't have enough time to get another loadout on this episode. So I'm gonna buck these ones a little bit smaller because these are really heavy pieces. Look at these things. Can I even lift that? Oh, that's good. I'd rather cut them small and load them up, because if I cut them too big and I can't lift it, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Let's see, and then as you get lower, the pieces should be easier to pick up for sure, but these big ones you got to be careful with. Now, luckily, there's none of those giant trees on this map, the like the river-looking trees with the big long leaves on them, so it shouldn't be too bad. Let's go like this. And like that. And like I said, as you get further down these trees, you can start making the cuts a little bit longer, because they get lighter, obviously, as you get towards the top. So you can kind of expand your horizons a little. Trying to cut them where the ugly notches are. I'll probably pick that up by itself, but I don't really want that end. It's kind of ugly. Well, I guess every little piece will count, so let's just leave it. It's just a weird looking little piece. In this case, once we get into heavy logging, there'll be a lot of waste, but when we're doing this kind of light stuff, every little penny counts, so... And I'm going to look at exploring my options for my mouse to maybe increase the sensitivity, so I'm not going like duke, 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 duke. I like the jitteriness there. Oops. There we go. Let's do that. And one of these. Perfect. Alright, well, let's get this one here. And we got ourselves a nice little pile anyway. Yeah, then when we come up with the truck, we can just kind of scoop her up there and throw it on there. And again, like I said, I'm going to cut these ones a little tighter because they're just a little bit heavy duty. I don't know if we can fit all of these trees in the back of that truck, but we can definitely give it the old college try there and see what fits in there. So yeah, I don't know. Apple versus Android, guys. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. I have friends at work that use strictly Apple, and then others who absolutely hate it. So I don't know. I think it's just personal preference at a certain point there. What do you guys use? Are you strictly Apple guys, or are you strictly Android guys? I mean, there's no judgment in anybody's opinion. So regardless of what I have versus what you have, doesn't matter to me. If it works for you, I'm the kind of guy that's like, if it works for you, great. I know there's a lot of very brand loyal people that are like, do this or you're dead. This is the only way to go. If you do anything else, you're stupid. And it's like, well, that's your opinion. Why don't you stick to something that works for you and let other people stick to things that work for them? Right? Gotta have a little bit of fun. And imagine we're getting more money for these little individual pieces because we're bucking them up really small. The game seems to reward you for the more work you put into the logs. So if you just rip down a tree, you don't delimit, you drag it back and sell it as it is, you're going to get a really low price for that. And maybe we'll do some kind of pulpwoody stuff later on where we make piles of garbage trees and line them up. Okay, so let's move this guy here. And there we go. The reason I'm putting them all in a pile is just because it'll be nicer for unloading and loading. So let's see, maybe we can get this. We can probably get this loaded before we run out of time. I think X, oh yeah, you can lower the tailgate too. So, I mean, we could do that just for fun. I don't really know if lowering the tailgate is going to be effective for us, but we can definitely do that. So I'm not sure what the most efficient way is to load, but let's try this. So what I was thinking is loading this way, so we can get 2 rows, potentially 2 rows. Let's see here. I'm gonna put one on the front here. Yeah, I think we could do it like that and get double rows. And then if we want, we can cross stack them after the fact too. It's like Tetris, but with logs. It's like a loggy version of Tetris. Actually, it's kind of a big one. Let's put that right here. And then let's find a thinner one. Maybe that's a little too thin. Let's get this one. See, this is being a loaderman, but like a different way. Totally different way of being a loaderman. Let's grab one more little one here. And, oops. Well, maybe I can get that right in between here. I mean, it's okay if it sticks off the tailgate, because, I mean, that's kind of the reason for having the tailgate anyway, right? So, that's no big deal. That roll bar might come into a bit of a problem. Looks cool, but it's not really going to help us here in this case. Wonder what all these little bits will be worth. That'll be interesting to see, too. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, we almost need like a little mini excavator or something so that we can load this stuff up. But I imagine that thing would cost quite a bit. I'll see what I can do. I do have a mini excavator, but I haven't put it into production yet. But I'm thinking maybe now's the time, because we could probably buy one of those little guys for, 40, 50 grand, I imagine, once we get to that point. And then we could come out here and do some real work. Actually, I think they're actually around like 30 grand to get one for some of them. So I don't know. We'll take a look and see. Man, the suspension on this truck is not loving what we're doing with it here. See that back end probably just squishing down in there. Giving those leaf springs a good old workout. This is good. This is how you get the money right here. I was going to attempt to unload this with that big crane, but that's just not going to work. I can tell already it's going to be a bit of a mess, so we'll have to hand unload until we get a trailer. Then once we get a trailer, we can scoop it all off the trailer. At least that'll make unloading a lot faster for us. Let's try this. Oops. Throw that on top. Man, we got a heck of a load here, don't we? That is... Here, we gotta take a picture of that. It's a beautiful Big, beautiful load. This is like old school firewood cutting. We need to put a box on the side of our truck or something. Some little stakes. Okay, so let's put this last piece on here. We'll call that probably all right. Let's lock that down too. All right, so guys, I'm going to leave it at this for now. We got another load that's pretty well ready to go. So we'll make a little bit more money off that. And we're just going to save up until we can hopefully buy something exquisite, like maybe a little mini excavator or something that we can drag out here. But anyway, I'm going to leave it like that. So if you guys liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Do not forget to subscribe. And if you're in the bush, don't forget to hug a tree. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.